Hi, I'm Ash. I'm a dragon. Yes, we are real. What, you don't believe me? Then look at her. This is Ember, super smart, a Hermione Granger of the forest. And this is Blaze, the strongest dragon I know. He once tried to outfly a thunderstorm and ended up arguing with the clouds. The three of us, Ember, Blaze and me, we're more than just friends. We're family. No matter what happens, we stand by each other always. Then one day we heard an old legend. The legend of the fire gem. Sounds epic, right? We were all buzzing with excitement, and Blaze didn't waste a second. He convinced us, even careful Ember, to leave the dragon forest right away and set off on the hunt for the fire gem. So we left the dragon forest behind, our hearts pounding with excitement. Our journey led us to the glowing Ember forest, a place of magic and mystery. The trees glowed with a warm golden light, like they were whispering secrets only the forest could understand. Fireflies lit up the air, flickering like tiny floating stars. Pretty sure Blaze tried to race one and lost. Golden rivers flowed, shimmering like melted sunlight. Ember, of course, was already analyzing them, mumbling something about magical energy and ancient enchantments. Meanwhile, Blaze just wanted to see if they were drinkable, but there were dark shadows lurking between the trees. Ember noticed them first, because of course she did. Blaze? He was too busy trying to figure out if glowing water was a good idea for a bath. Amazing creatures lived there, each more mysterious than the last. Ember wanted to study them, Blaze wanted to race them, and I was just hoping none of them wanted to eat us. Some were friendly, some not so much. Blaze, of course, tried to befriend the biggest, scariest one. Spoiler, it did not go well. Let's just say when a 10-foot-tall, spike-covered beast starts chasing you, friendship is no longer an option. After barely escaping with all our scales intact, we decided maybe it was time to focus on why we were really here. The legend of the fire gem. Now that was something worth chasing. This tale had been passed down from dragon to dragon for generations, whispered over roaring fires told beneath starry skies. And now it was our turn to chase it. The fire gem was said to glow so brightly it looked like a fallen red star resting on the earth. Powerful, beautiful, and according to legend, nearly impossible to find, and in the darkest nights its magical glow could turn shadows into daylight. A treasure beyond imagination, if it even really existed. Many brave dragons had searched for its power, chasing legends and whispers across the land. Some never returned, others came back, but with tales of things far more terrifying than the journey itself. But no dragon had ever truly seen it. Just stories, just dreams, until now, because we were about to change that. Blaze dreamed of wielding its power, of becoming the strongest dragon in history. Typical Blaze, always thinking big, never thinking how. Ember was fascinated by its mysteries, eager to uncover its secrets. If anyone could figure out the truth behind the legend, it was her, and she would lecture us about it the entire time. I imagined sharing its warmth and light with everyone. A world where no dragon was ever cold, no night was ever too dark. Yeah, I guess I've always been the dreamer. Yeah, the story filled our hearts with wonder and dreams, pulling us forward like a flame in the dark. We had to find it, not just for the legend, but for what it could mean for all dragons. And so we pressed on, our hearts burning with excitement. The legend of the fire gem wasn't just a story anymore, it was our destiny. We soared over glowing rivers, their golden light dancing beneath our wings. Blaze swore he saw his reflection wink at him. I think the magic was getting to his head. We wandered through sparkling glades, where the air shimmered like it was laced with stardust. Ember was fascinated. Blaze tried to eat a glowing mushroom. It did not go well. We climbed shiny hills, their surfaces so smooth they looked like they'd been polished by the wind itself. Blaze tried to race to the top, then immediately slid all the way back down, graceful as ever. The path ahead was tough, steeper, rougher, and full of surprises. Not the fun kind. The oops, that rock was actually a sleeping creature kind. But we were determined to find the fire gem. Ember had her maps, Blaze had his enthusiasm, and I had, well, a growing list of things I hoped we wouldn't run into. The first challenge was the Cave of Whispers, a place where the shadows spoke and the echoes weren't always your own. Whispers filled the darkness, slithering through the air like unseen ghosts. They spoke of fears and doubts, voices that knew exactly what to say to make your scales crawl. Together we walked through the cave, the whispers clawing at our minds, digging up every fear, every doubt. But we kept going, not because we weren't afraid, but because we refused to let go of each other. As long as we were together, no voice in the dark could break us. As we stepped out of the cave, the cold whispers faded behind us, but there was no time to breathe easy. Ahead of us, stretching over a river of molten lava, was our next challenge, the Bridge of Fire. The air was thick with heat and smoke, making every breath feel like fire itself. The bridge wasn't just a path, it was a test of courage, balance, and in Blaze's case, his ability to not sprint across recklessly. One wrong step and we'd be nothing more than toasted dragon snacks. At last, we arrived at the heart of the forest. Sunlight poured into a wide clearing, golden and warm, as if the forest itself was holding its breath. In the center stood a stone pedestal, ancient and worn, with something carved into its surface, a riddle, the final clue to the fire gem. We stared at each other, the weight of the moment pressing down on us. Then Ember's eyes lit up. She had figured it out. The riddle wasn't about a gem hidden in the world, it was about us. The fire, the strength, the light we had been searching for was inside us all along. And as that truth sank in, we began to glow, a warm golden light radiating from within. And just like that, our great quest for the legendary fire gem came to an end. No treasure to take home, no shiny gem to show off, just a lesson written in our hearts. We already had everything we needed. Courage, Blaze had enough for all of us, and a slightly singed tail to prove it. Wisdom, Ember had more than enough to keep us from total disaster. And I had them. My best friends. That was the greatest treasure of all.